You received this email from your friend Joe. The subject of the email is restaurant work. Help! I'm opening my new restaurant next week and I really need some help. Are you still looking for work? You'd be doing me a real favor if you could come and work with me. Joe. The question says, unfortunately you can't help Joe. Reply to Joe's email explaining why you can't help, recommending someone else who could help in the restaurant, and saying why he or she would be suitable. So the question actually comes in 3 parts. It says write about 100 words, and this is your response. Hi Joe. You've started with hi, which is very informal, and it's an appropriate way to write an informal letter to a friend. Thank you. Firstly, I want to say congratulations. When you start a letter or an email with firstly, that suggests to the reader that you have quite a few points to make, and that's a very good way of starting your first point. I want to say congratulations. This is one of those words in the English language that we use which comes in a different form. This is something that you know because we've used in the classroom. Can I ask you to take another look at this word and see in what form we use it? There's a little spelling error there. I'm really happy to hear that you are opening your new restaurant next week. You've used an abbreviation, I'm, instead of I am, and because it's an informal email or letter, that's appropriate. You've got the correct direction for the apostrophe, which is very good. I'm really happy to hear that you're opening your new restaurant next week. You're telling your friend that you're happy, which is being polite, and it's very good. You have used the verb to be, and you've used the adjective, which is what we discussed previously, and because you have the verb to be, following it you've used the infinitive. Very good. I'm really happy to hear that you're opening your new restaurant next week. You've also used the present continuous in order to talk about the future. Very good. You are my best friend and I know you really need help and you can't trust everybody in your new business. But unfortunately, I'm busy now and I'm not looking for a job anymore because I have a good job now and I have responsibility about that. So, in this sentence, you've actually started by answering the question, but the thing that comes across in this sentence is that it's quite long. And one point that examiners make at level 1 writing is they like to see sentences a little bit shorter than this. So could I suggest that you take a look at this sentence once more, which I'm going to underline, and can I suggest that you include more punctuation please in the sentence. So it's entirely up to you. You can use extra commas, you can use full stop, so divide it into maybe 2 or 3 sentences. You can use semicolons. In a way, if you could make it shorter, because in fact your sentence starts from here, you are, and ends here, and that is quite a long sentence. So let's look at the content. You're my best friend and I know you really need help and you can't trust everybody in your new business. So you are showing that you empathize, or should I say sympathize, with the recipient. But unfortunately I'm busy now and I'm looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job anymore because I have a good job now and I have responsibility about that. The question said, reply to Joe's email explaining why you can't help, and that's exactly what you've done here. You can't help because you're not looking for a job anymore, you already have a job. So you've actually answered the first part of the question there. Can I point out that here we have a negative sentence. You really need help and you can't trust everybody in your new business. Because it's a negative sentence, you might want to take another look at this word. Remember that every is used for singular and for plural, but usually in positive sentences, and this is a negative sentence. So I would like to see, if possible, if you could change this with another word which is more suitable for negative sentences, please. Unfortunately, I'm busy now and I'm not looking for a job anymore. Very good. Because I have a good job now and I have responsibility about that. Right. You have given the reason why you can't help, and you have responsibility about that. About what? So could I ask that you take another look at this part as well, please? Okay. There is it could be maybe one word that you'd like to substitute, or substitute both words, but that would not be the suitable word used here, and because you're going to change the word that means that you might want to change the preposition used for that as well. Moving on to the second, or should I say, yes, second paragraph. But I think I can help you in other ways. Very good, you've got the word other, and following from our last conversation or last feedback that we had, you've got the plural noun following the word other. Very good. I want to recommend you one of my friends who is chef and has good experience about working in restaurant. So the question says, tell why you can't help, recommending someone who can, and say why he or she would be suitable. So here you have recommended someone who can help. I want to recommend you one of my friends. Okay. There is something missing in this sentence. I want to recommend you. Can I suggest that you take another look at this part of the sentence, and you might need to include a preposition in order to make the sentence correct. So I'm just going to put a gap there. If you could take a look at that, you might need a preposition there. I think I can help you in other ways. I want to recommend you one of my friends who is chef. You've used the correct pronoun here. You've used who because it's following people you've been talking about, which is correct, is chef. Now, if you remember when we were talking about articles, one area where we use an article is right before a profession or a job, and this word chef is a profession or a job, and so therefore before the word chef we would need an article. If you would kindly take a look at your notes again regarding articles and see which one we would use, bearing in mind that this word here is singular and has good experience about working in restaurant. Very good. You've got the correct preposition here. Restaurant is a countable noun, and if it's a countable noun, therefore it would be able to be used with articles. So I'm going to underline the gap experience about working in, yes, so you can actually either include something here, or you can change the word restaurant. So there are actually two ways that you can correct this sentence depending on whether you want to use the singular or the plural noun here. Okay, if you want to use the singular noun, you will need an article. If you want to not use an article, then you would have to change the format of this word. I know him very well since I was child, and I think he is really suitable for you and your business and can help you in your new business. Okay, I know him very well since I was a child. I'm going to stop there. The action of knowing somebody started in the past, since I was a child. So when an action starts in the past but continues up to the future, up to the present, pardon me, so an action that started in the past but the consequences or the effects of that action carry on to the present tense, that is not present simple. That would therefore be a different tense that I would like you to use, please. So I know him very well is for now generally, but you continue this sentence by saying since I was child. So this would not be an appropriate tense. It's an action that started in the past and continues to the present tense, so that would be a different tense that we would use. Since I was child. Again, child is a countable noun and it's used in the singular form here, therefore it would need a little something before it. It's a single noun, therefore you might need to add something which is suitable for single nouns. I think he is really suitable for you and your business and can help you in your new business. He is looking for a job because he doesn't have any job at the moment. If you need any more information about him or want to meet him, please do not hesitate to contact me. You've used very good use of infinitives. If you need more information about him or want to meet him, yes, do not hesitate. Again, infinitive here to contact me. So this is clearly your conclusion, and you are preparing the reader for the very ending of your email or your letter. All in all, I think it's a very, very good email that you've written. So you have clearly used informal English in writing an email to your friend, which is the appropriate way of writing an email to your friend. You've used hi, you've used good luck, you've used abbreviations, I'm instead of I am, or other examples, which are very correct. You've clearly answered all parts of the question. So you clearly answered all parts of the question, and you used very good words as well. Recommend, and the fact that you want to congratulate your friend. Obviously these are very, very good. Can I suggest that you just take a look very briefly at articles used with single countable nouns, and also articles used with jobs. If you could take a look at these, please. Also, actions which start in the past but have an effect or continue up to the present are the present perfect tense actions. So according to this, you might want to take another look at the verb that you have here. Apart from that, I think it was very, very good. So if you could take another look at these. So I'm actually going to highlight these in green, I think, so we know that these are the actions for next time, if you would please. I'm very, very pleased with the level of English that you're using here, and I definitely would call this a pass on condition that you changed these slight few adjustments, and also if you could maybe shorten this sentence or break it down into shorter sentences. I'm very, very happy with this writing. Well done.